Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about, well, before I even start talking, I did cut my hair, chopped it all off. I was so over the blonde and I was so over having like just really unhealthy fried hair. Like it drove me crazy, and I just went through a phase where it took a couple stages, but I went through a phase where I was like, all right, it's time to go dark again. Anyways, let's get into it. So I never really talk about this often. Obviously people know I have an autoimmune disease, but there's so many things that happen with an autoimmune disease. But before I was diagnosed, I had a few issues that I noticed, and when I started becoming sexually active, I started really late actually, like having sex. So I noticed that every time I was sexually active, I ended up getting a UTI. And I saw a gyno, obviously, and it got so bad that I started seeing a urologist, specifically to see what was wrong, if I had something wrong with my bladder or urinary tract or whatever. And I think they said they found something in my kidneys. They checked my kidneys. They said that it might be a stone, but it was too small to tell, yada yada yada. So fast forward, I was in a relationship at the time, and after constantly getting chronic UTIs every time I had sex, I ended up getting prescribed a low dose antibiotic for when I was sexually active. So I would have sex, and then right after sex I would immediately take this antibiotic. This was something I didn't want to do, but I was at my wit's end with it, and I didn't know where to go from there. The thing about antibiotics, and a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so please check in with your physician or anyone else before you start doing my routine or implementing some of the things I did in your routine. Antibiotics, when you're taking them so much, your body can become resistant to them. It's almost like your body becomes immune to them, and then when you actually need antibiotics, your body is so immune to the antibiotics that it doesn't know how to fight off the infection, basically. And that's what I'm like terrified about. So every time I feel like UTI symptoms or anything like that, I will like do my best to just chug water, take vitamins, like supplements that help before actually taking antibiotics. Sometimes it's so bad that I'm like, I immediately need to take antibiotics. I can't wait this out. But you have to be careful when trying to wait out UTI and not getting the proper care for UTI, because it can eventually go to your kidneys and you get a kidney infection, and a really bad kidney infection could lead to so much more. You can go into septic shock and sepsis, and basically it could be fatal. So you don't want that to happen, and you don't even want to end up in a hospital for something so minute that can be taken care of. Also, there are so many apps where you can, GoodRx I believe is one, I've used them before. There's so many apps where you can get antibiotics for your UTI right through your phone. So there's never an excuse not to get antibiotics. So I was suffering from chronic UTIs, and I didn't know what to do. I did so much research. I tried everything. I peed after sex, I peed before sex, I washed, I did everything. That drank cranberry juice. And also, if you're drinking cranberry juice, make sure it's not the sugary kind with all that sugar and stuff in it. Make sure it's organic, and if it's real cranberry juice, it should taste very tart. I tried everything. Unfortunately, some immune systems don't work as well as others. There's also your genetic makeup, your partner's genetic makeup, all that stuff that can actually affect why you get these. Now, if you're getting UTIs, it's normally coming from E. coli, which is a bacteria. Very rarely are UTIs triggered from anything else, but it does happen. But most likely it's from E. coli. Obviously, you don't want to do anything down there and then put it in your V-hole to avoid all those things. Pee after sex, try and shower, wash up. Do not put anything that doesn't belong near your vagine in your vagine. Whether that's soaps, lotions, anything like that. You don't want to throw off your pH. After years and years of research, and I'm talking years, I think I got my first UTI where it was like a constant thing in 2016. So we're talking like 6 years later that I'm still doing research and I'm still trying to figure out what works for me. I did notice when I was juicing celery juice or drinking celery juice every morning on an empty stomach, that helped me so much with my UTIs. There was a point in time where I was religiously taking a good probiotic and drinking celery juice every morning that I didn't get a UTI for almost a year. I'm gonna tell you my little secrets that helped me avoid getting a UTI. Okay, to start off, my holy grail. I notice when I do not use this, I am way more prone to getting UTIs. This is the Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotic. It's a women's formula. It's made for women. It has 50 billion live cultures. You keep it in your refrigerator. It's great for urinary health. And there's so much good and bad bacteria in our bodies, and you want a probiotic that's gonna flourish your gut with good bacteria. So this is like my holy grail. It's a little on the pricier side. I believe today I paid $41 for it, and it lasts only like a month, and you take one supplement a day, but amazing, literally amazing. By the way, this video is not sponsored whatsoever. I'm just speaking from the heart. This is what works for me. And second, I have my UQUORA products. I also use their cleansing wipes and their gel for your feminine area. I use these things. Target is basically to flush your urinary tract. So anytime you have sex or you're feeling a little wonky down there, you pour one of these in a cup of water and you drink it. This is very important because it has D-mannose in it, which is D-mannose is what is in cranberry, and this is essentially what bacteria sticks to flush it out. So bacteria loves sugar, and instead of sticking to the sugar in your body, it would stick to the D-mannose and come out that way. So this flushes you out pretty. I like taking this right after sex or anytime I'm like feeling kind of weird down there. UQUORA was actually made from someone that suffers from chronic UTIs. So I love that because it's different when you're buying a product from a company that can't really relate. Like they're producing a product, but they're producing it basically because they can. Control is also so important because a lot of the times when we have chronic UTIs, we have a biofilm. And basically what a biofilm is it's like a shield for bacteria. So if you're taking an antibiotic, the antibiotic is basically killing the bacteria around it. But under that little cover, that little sheet, is actual bacteria. So this fights the actual biofilm, tries to get rid of that so that all that bacteria comes out and you're completely flushed out. Promote is just to balance your vaginal microbiome, your pH, stuff like that. It has also has probiotics in it. It's kind of like a probiotic, or I would say it is a probiotic. These are definitely something you want to take in consideration if you have chronic UTIs. This isn't going to help with a UTI, but this definitely helps with just balancing your vaginal pH. These are boric acid suppositories. If you suffer from like BB or stuff like that, this does seem to help, and it does help with the natural pHs of your vagina, and we love a healthy vagina. Some other weird supplements that I like to add is oil of oregano pills and garlic. And oil of oregano, especially from this brand, I think it's GAIA or GAIA. I've heard testimonials, like amazing testimonials with this, like when it comes to HPV and stuff like that. But this is just good immune support. Garlic, it's an immune system and cardiovascular support. This one's made with organic garlic. Also, when you're purchasing like any supplements, you want to make sure that you're purchasing from reputable companies and companies that you trust. You can buy anything at the tip of your fingers and you have no idea what's in them. D-mannose, I actually have the pure powder. If you're taking D-mannose, I always suggest taking it in powdered form. It just works better than having a capsule. It's powder, it's going straight to the source. And so sometimes I use just D-mannose by itself, especially if I want relief from my UTI symptoms. If I feel anything that's like unwell down there, definitely will take D-mannose straight supplement. Lastly, I got this Urinary X. This is urinary and yeast support. I was reading the reviews and I heard a lot of good things about it, so we'll see what is the hype. But basically it's by Life Seasons. It's a urinary yeast support and it has cranberry, D-mannose, uva ursi, grapefruit seed, and caprylic acid, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So this seems like a super good mix of everything you would need to prevent a UTI. Definitely excited to try this. So that is all for my little video on UTIs and what you can do to help you. I will put all my links below, and I will link everything in this video that I talked about below as well.